So Russian parents basically don't take into consideration that a school placement process begins a long time before they generally think it begins, when they believe that the child is at the right age to be placed. So therefore, when they come to us, they're about 4 to 5 years too late already to begin the placement procedure. So if you take this year, we've had 4 or 5 students who have come to us who, again, ideally should have been with us maybe a year beforehand, who are now going to prep schools, prepared but not as prepared as they could be. Registration in top schools in the UK that parents are generally looking at going to because of the sort of prestige that comes with the name. Their registration process begins 3 or 4 years before they enter the school, and therefore their preparation needs to begin at least a year before that. When they go to meet the school for the first stage, it's an interview. At the interview, the downside of being unprepared and not knowing what you're going into leaves a very bad first impression, and generally Russia and British schools have a bad opinion about Russians who are coming across, number one, because it's more work for them due to visas, due to applications, due to insurance, and number two is quite often it's agencies that have brought these children across, and simply they haven't prepared them. They send them, they take a fee, and that's the end of their job. Whereas we would be looking at preparing them not only for the interview, but handling their documents, handling their after they've left our school. We will continue to do this process, looking after them, making sure that they're progressing, giving them extra tutoring when they're on holiday, etc. And if this preparation is done correctly years in advance, it bodes the child, it gives the child a better opportunity to prosper and understand what they're actually doing and what the parents are doing, which is just as important for them to understand. When children come to us for the first time and they're looking at going to school placement in the next 3 months, we're very flexible in accommodating parents. As a school, we're not an agency, and therefore we don't charge commission. We are viewed very differently by schools in the UK. Number one, the majority of staff here are British, and therefore we get a different reception in comparison to what Russian workers would actually do when contacting admission staff in the UK. And this allows us to utilise what schools in the UK can do for children here. If they are going, we've had in the last 2 years a number of children who have gone to school in the UK for just 1 term, and this has allowed them to really prosper and understand what boarding is, understand what a British school is, and they've come back having fantastic English, and they can take this experience forward and move on and progress in different areas of their academia and sciences, maths, etc. The key elements that you would need for an exam, to pass an exam, to get into a good British school. We've also had examples where kids have come to us looking for a placement or looking to move to a school in the UK in just 1 month at the beginning of the summer, and in some cases this will never happen. The kid is not capable, they're not prepared, and in some cases the child will prosper no matter what they do. We had one example last year where a girl came to us. She could speak very fluent French and obviously Russian, and within 1 month her English improved 9-fold because of her musical ear, and she was very gifted at other things, and she passed all her exams in 1 month and went with a scholarship to a very good school in England to sit her A-levels. And now I'm struggling to think of what to say next, so I shall stop.